Reilly! We're up to episode 39 now, so today's review we're going to do is A Bug's Life. I mean, not A Bug's Life, The Love Bug! Silly me! That's not until a few episodes later. Released on December 24th, 1968 for a limited time, and March 13th, 1969. It stars Dean Jones, Michelle Lee, David Tomlinson and Buddy Hackett. Yes! Another race. Yes, Jim Douglas was in another race and it crashed down. And then he went to a car shop and then all of a sudden he found Herbie in Thorndike and he wants it out. Soon the car followed Jim Douglas to his house and all of a sudden he being buzzed by Peter Thorndike and then driven off, and then the car automatically and shows like Carol wants to drive, and then all of a sudden they swap around and it's only Jim Douglas that makes the car go automatically. And all of a sudden they went up to the map, the perfect night view of the bushes, and then the race comes on, and first race was not involved Peter Thorndike, who was watching the race, and then the second race Thorndike finally snaps and wants to come in the race against Jim Douglas, and then Jim Douglas won against Thorndike a lot of times, which makes him very angry, and then he visits Herbie and puts Irish coffee in his motor, and all of a sudden that day Herbie was making weird noises and bushing up sound, and all of a sudden it was Thorndike put the Irish coffee in, and when all of a sudden after Herbie went missing, and then Thorndike his crew went to find it and tried to tear it apart, and then ran off again, and then all of a sudden at the police, and then at the San Francisco Police Department and Chinese businessmen was witnessed that Herbie was destroyed all the Chinese show, and then they released him, and then next in all the other race, then Thorndike went up to his silly tricks again, and all of a sudden Herbie lost a tire, and then all of a sudden one tire is in there ripped up and by Thorndike, and they have to do the race lift Herbie up, and then at night Thorndike was trying to sell Herbie again. This time Douglas tried to fight him, and then Herbie rushed him off, and then all of a sudden at the end and at the day of the final race, Thorndike Thorndike was trying to do a massive funny tricks again. All of a sudden he got into Herbie, and then he got out of, and then he was in Herbie's motor, and then they realized that he was in Herbie's motor, and then Herbie was split apart together, and the first half is one, and then the second half is one, and then Herbie won, and Thorndike and Habershaw were loving mechanics now, and then Herbie was fully repaired, and then Jim and Carol went on their honeymoon, and that's the end of that movie. So I don't think its film ever had a theatrical re-release. No theatrical re-release. So films comes after that were Smith came out in March 29th, 1969. Rascal came out in June 11th, same year. Next film we're going to do is Computer Wore Tennis Shoes, so stay tuned for that one, the last Disney 60s film.